plundering the 14 and under age division in several junior tournaments, rising steadily in the computer rankings. The article also told about Ginny's personal tennis coach, Rick Donsprocken, who was the head pro at Ginny's club in Seattle and who also ran a prestigious summer tennis camp in eastern Washington. A little over a year ago, Donsprocken had sent some of his best junior players, including Ginny, to live half the year at a tennis academy in Florida, where they would receive intensive tennis training and a decent academic education. Donsprocken didn't actually work at the tennis academy, but he knew the teachers and counted on them to keep his players in top form. A lot of personal coaches did this, sent their players off to an academy when they weren't competing in tournaments. That way, the player and coach could get a vacation from each other. The player could form friendships with other players and be exposed to different teaching styles. And the coach could continue earning a living at his or her local club. The other half of the year, Rick Donsprocken took his team around the country on the national junior tennis circuit, where the players competed in one tournament after another. Team Donsprocken had its own academic tutor, physical trainer, and sports psychologist, all funded by parents, financial backers, and sponsors who were betting that 2 or 3 of these players would someday hit fame and fortune in big-time tennis. Ginny and I were neighbors. I had known her for 10 years. I also knew Donsprocken well. I had gone to that tennis camp of his 9 years in a row. The article had a half-page color photograph of Ginny. She was standing on a sunny beach in Florida, wearing a sporty one-piece bathing suit with the brand name prominently displayed across the front of it. The clothing company had paid money to have Ginny wear its logo. The money went into the Team Donsprocken Fund. Ginny got to keep the bathing suit. There she was, with her thick, honey-colored hair down over her shoulders, looking tanned and sort of kid-like. She wore a silver bracelet on her left wrist, and a silver chain around her neck that had a small, heart-shaped locket that contained a tiny photo of her cat, whose name was Boat. She was 14 in that picture, but had turned 15 in January, 2 weeks before I had turned 16. "Stan!" My mom was calling from downstairs. "Yeah, I'm hurrying." I put the magazine back on the shelf. For a moment, I'd forgotten what I was looking for. The postcards. Ginny had sent them in the mail last week. And now Ginny's parents had summoned me, along with the postcards, to their house for a meeting. Ginny's psychologist from Team Donsprocken was going to be there, too. Evidently, Ginny had mentioned to her psychologist that the postcards were symbolic. I doubted Ginny would ever say something like that in seriousness, but her parents and psychologist thought otherwise. They were hoping the postcards contained some clue as to why Ginny had recently been on the skids and falling apart, why her behavior, both on and off the tennis court, had seemed vague and distant. But what did they think I had to do with it? When I came downstairs, having found the postcards and changed into dry clothes, my mom, who was still in the kitchen, asked if she could see the postcards. I showed them to her. She held them up, glancing from one to the other, laughed, and shook her head. "Do you think they're symbolic?" she asked. "About as symbolic as those hot dogs. You ought to grill them to symbolize what's about to happen to me." "Oh, they're not going to grill you." Mom handed the postcards back to me. "Roast you, maybe. Listen, do you want hot dogs when you get home, or are you going out tonight?" "Both." "Oh. That means you're going out with the other 2 hot dogs." "Just going to shoot pool, Mom. Didn't Bitsy say anything to you about why they wanted to see me? I get the feeling it's more than the postcards. They think I have this influence over Ginny or something. Are they going to try to pin something on me? I mean, am I in trouble?" My mom smiled. "I don't know. Should you be?" I didn't answer. Deep down, who didn't feel like they should be in some kind of trouble? I left through the back door into the light Seattle rain, straight for the woods. It wasn't the quickest way to Ginny's house, but it was the most pleasant.